Hi, dude. Hello. What? Sorry, I don't understand you. What did you say? Oh, I go to the north. And you? Okay, goodbye, guys.
Hey boy! Hello, friendly. My friendly man. Yeah. What? Блять, что нахуй? Ты по-русски умеешь говорить, блять? Man, what you need? Блять. Man, you need a pistol. No problem. Bye bye. Bye bye, man.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
How did you, can you prepare when you were preparing Marco Rubio?
I mean, it's really hard. You just don't know what's going to come at you. So in some ways, you have to try and prepare all the possible different angles. But then what you realize in doing that is you have to expect the unexpected. Donald Trump is the kind of guy that's just going to stand up there and he's going to make his statement, and you don't know where it's going to go. Is it going to go to issues? Is it going to go to the size of your hands? You just don't know where it's going to go. So it's very, very difficult to really sit there and have a conversation about it. You just have to get ready from a temperamental perspective. You got to understand, how are you going to respond if he comes at you personally? If he comes at you with an issue attack? That's the most important.
Why the difference in, because when someone like Donald Trump gets up and he brags about his resume, it's like, you know, it seems that he's being confident. But then Hillary Clinton has to watch out because it's also like she's sort of meandering and being lawyerly when she talks about her resume and her accomplishments.
Well, I think there's a bit of a double standard, not only because Hillary's a woman, but in this race, because Trump is so entertaining. I mean, he has spent more time in front of a camera than any presidential candidate since Ronald Reagan before he ran. I know he's never held office, but apparently it's pretty good practice to learn how to deal with these lights and these cameras. But I do think that's a little unfair, but I think that, you know, Hillary is, I frankly think, better suited than the Republicans to deal with this because she has handled those committees, which are all little, some are very reasonable, some are kind of loony. And so
I want to make sure I get this in because I think this is important. You said you were telling me your favorite part of this is just before they go out.
I got to walk out with Bill Clinton, stand there, and we had all this prep, and this is the last thing I said to him, and I hope they say this to Hillary. I actually hope they say it to Trump, too, for different reasons. I said, you've had great prep, you're ready for this. But if something pops in your head on that stage, say it.
Right.
You have the best instincts I've ever seen, sir. Trust your instincts, because that...
I remember right before that first debate in Denver in 2012 that Governor Romney did really well at.
Great.
I was so nervous, I was shaking. And he put his hand on me and said, don't be nervous.
Yeah.
I got this.
And he did a great job. He won the first
He
debate.
won the first debate, absolutely.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was all him. It was all him.
Thank you, gentlemen. So we've got our beer over here, Anderson. We've got our hot dogs and and some chicken wings and a bunch of stuff. We're ready for tonight.
It's going to be an extraordinary night, a historic night. Don, thanks very much. We'll be watching along with everybody else. And of course, we'll be on right after. Our coverage continues, though. Aaron Burnett out front starts now.
Tonight, a must-see debate. Two bitter rivals going head-to-head for the first time.
Donald Trump is not qualified to...
is unfit to be our president.
Donald Trump, still trying to convince voters he can be presidential while staying unpredictable and on the attack.
He doesn't have the strength, the stamina.
From setbacks, arguing that experience and steadiness count.
The man you can bait with a tweet is not a man you can trust with nuclear weapons.
Both candidates fighting to seize momentum in the final stretch of a close and polarizing race.
We need to stop him conclusively in November.
She's been there for 35 years.
This is CNN's coverage of Clinton versus Trump in their first presidential debate.
It's a game to him. Everything is a game.
Offering starkly different visions for the nation.
She's done nothing but mistakes. She's got bad judgment.
Two nominees, one stage, and America's future up for debate.
And this is the stage where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are about to for the first time. It is the most important moment yet in this campaign and arguably the biggest night in modern American political history. We are coming to you from the Spin Room, which is right next to the debate hall on the campus of Hofstra University here in New York. Welcome to all. I'm Aaron Burnett with this special edition of Out Front on this debate night in America. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are heading into an extremely high-risk test tonight with the presidential race now, according to polls, in a dead heat. Every word, every gesture, they could potentially win a high-risk test tonight with the presidential race now, according to polls, in a dead heat. Every word, every gesture, they could potentially win or lose votes. And there are only 6 weeks left until the election. With so much riding on one night, you're told that both Clinton and Trump were involved in last-minute debate prep just earlier today. Now, this is expected to be the most watched political debate ever. And we here at CNN are covering it like no one else can. Wolf Blitzer is inside the debate hall with more on what to expect. Wolf.
Aaron, the candidates take the stage in 2 hours. 2 hours from now, they'll stand behind those lecterns for the entire 90-minute debate. There won't be any commercial breaks at all. Viewers will see Trump on the left. The candidates' positions were determined, by the way, by a coin toss. Hillary Clinton will be to the right, right of your TV screens. Her lectern is shorter than Trump's since he's considerably taller than she is. The moderator, NBC News anchor Lester Holt, will be seated in front of them. His first question will go to Hillary Clinton. Now, that was also determined by a coin toss. Outside the debate hall, people are gathering for this historic debate as we count down to the introductions and the first questions. We're going to talk to Senator Bernie Sanders about Hillary Clinton's debate strengths and her weaknesses. He knows firsthand what it's like to mix it up with her on the debate stage. Also this hour, we'll speak with Donald Trump's vice presidential running mate, Mike Pence, about the challenges the Republican nominee faces tonight. Let's bring in Jake Tapper. Jake, maybe 100 million Americans will be watching this. Millions more around the world will be watching it. The polls right now, the national polls, the battleground polls, show this is neck and neck across the country.
That's right. And the big question for Donald Trump is, can he reassure the American people that he has the temperament and he has the knowledge and experience to be president? Hillary Clinton has really tried to make this election a referendum on him, and voters have really concerns about his temperament and his background. So all night she's going to be trying to delegitimize him. Meanwhile, he is going to be trying to show the American people that a President Trump can be something that they're comfortable with.
It's fascinating. Dana Bash is with us as well. Dana, this is going to be a real challenge for Hillary Clinton and for Donald Trump, for that matter. One-on-one, he had several debates with a lot of Republican candidates. Hillary Clinton, I don't know if she's ever faced someone like Donald Trump in a one-on-one debate.
Right. Well, few have. You're absolutely right. There are going to be huge challenges, first-time challenges for both of these candidates, starting with Trump. The only time he has had a small number was 4 opponents, which is not so small, and that was in CNN's debate in Miami. For the most part, he has debated on crowded stages, and he was able to kind of recede into the background when he didn't want to engage on an issue for whatever reason. It is one-on-one. And for Hillary Clinton, she has had a number of one-on-one debates in this campaign alone, and of course in 2008 against Barack Obama, but nothing compares to the wild card that is Donald Trump.
And as we say, the stakes could not be higher indeed. Aaron, back to you.
All right, Wolf, and we're getting some new information from inside the Trump campaign right now. For that, let's bring in Sarah Murray. Sarah, what do you have?
Well, Aaron, right now, as we are preparing for the debate, Donald Trump is taking a little bit of time to relax. He's at a hotel that's near the debate site. He's with his family, taking, a few moments to himself before the debate starts this evening. But make no mistake, the campaign, even as they have mocked Hillary Clinton for how intense her debate prep has been, is taking this very seriously. Donald Trump did a walk all these mind games going on leading up to the debate. Privately, some in the Trump campaign admit that they do believe that Donald Trump will be graded on a curve. They do believe he will be graded on different standards, and that voters don't necessarily expect him to know quite as much as Hillary Clinton does about national security or about the inner workings of the government. So that is something that could certainly work to his benefit tonight. Aaron?
All right, Sarah, and I just want everyone to know, here in the spin room, there's been a couple of big gaggles, as we call them. Mike Pence actually just walked behind me. He's obviously going to be on later this hour with us. And Mark Cuban, the celebrity star guest of Hillary Clinton, also was here. I had a moment to speak to him briefly. Very excited to be here, says he was invited directly. The celebrity star guest of Hillary Clinton also was here. I had a moment to speak to him briefly. Very excited to be here, says he was invited directly. Last minute preparations today, Jeff, that you have, of course, Mark Cuban and his celebrity, starhood just come here through our press spin room.
Yes, Aaron. Hillary Clinton is also at a hotel just a short distance from here at Hofstra University. And like her opponent, she is using this opportunity to sort of collect her thoughts and rest. I just talked to a senior advisor who has been in touch with her, and she is not practicing anymore. She is refining her points and really, looking for a couple moments to make stand out in her fight with Donald Trump. No presidential candidate in modern history at all has had as much debating experience as Hillary Clinton. They know she will need all that. But right now, at this hour, she is with her husband, the rest of her family, thinking about this big moment ahead tonight. She is actually not doing a walkthrough of the stage, we're told. At least that is her plan right now. She has seen what it looks like. Some of her aides have looked at it there, but she has been doing these debate practice sessions, standing in front of a podium at the very same hour the debate will be tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern time. She is ready for this debate, her advisors believe, but they also are saying, look, she's going to use this as an opportunity to make her case to 100 million people. Don't necessarily look for as many fireworks as Donald Trump might be expecting. Aaron.
All right, Jeff Zeleny, thank you very much. And now let's go to Anderson.
Aaron, thanks very much. We've got a complete panel here. To my left, I've got all our Trump supporters and our Clinton supporters, and also to my right, I have our analysts and our reporters. Let's start with them. Michael Smerconish, host of Smerconish and the Michael Smerconish program. Neil Malika Henderson, CNN senior political reporter. Gloria Borger, CNN chief political analyst, and David Axelrod, CNN senior political commentator, former senior historic event. I mean, it's an overused word, but this really is history in the making tonight.
Absolutely. We've never had a reality show star in a presidential debate before. That's history. But honestly...
And a female candidate of a major party.
I was joking.
I know.
But really, it's also historic because this is a very close race. It's been tightening in the last several weeks. It's now in the average about 1.67. Be looking at this debate for cues. It'll probably be the most watched debate. The first debate often is. And this is going to be a very important test for both of them. For Trump, as was mentioned, to show that he has the presidential mettle, the temperament, the command. But for Hillary Clinton to connect with people and give them an authentic sense of where she wants to lead and why she wants to be president. And so I think there are tests for both of them.
Not just enough for Hillary Clinton to know lots of facts and have, talk about her public. Gala talked about this the other day, kind of paint a picture, kind of an overview of what she wants for her presidency.
And why she should be president, because she cares about you, and how her presidency would affect your life. I mean, when you step back and you think about this, on paper, she is the most qualified person, probably in my lifetime ever, to run for the presidency. When you look at her resume, Donald Trump is the first presidential nominee, I think, since Eisenhower, not to have been in elective office before. So they couldn't be more different even on that score. And I think for him, he's got to prove that he's qualified. We all know what the polls show. People wonder about his qualifications. But for her, it's more about your life and how she can fix it. Because everybody kind of knows that she's got the resume.
It's almost, I mean, Michael, is it an easier bar for Donald Trump? Because if he just shows people that he can be president, that they can imagine him president at the end of this debate, if this is a change election, I mean, he has an advantage.
With the proposition, I think it shows that the Trump campaign has succeeded in adjusting the bar to their specifications before this debate even begins. I would say that the big challenge for him is to remind himself that all of those debates in which he succeeded in primary and caucus season matter not now. This is a completely different audience. And that which got him here could also prevent him from going further, because those red meat stirring one-liners, I think, will not play well for the type of general election audience that he needs to reach this evening.
And also, the audience in this hall is probably very different. I mean, they're asked not to clap, not to kind of voice their support or their disdain one way or the other.
And he feeds it, Gloria, I think, said, feeds off life of the crowd. He is great at dispensing red meat. He's very funny at times. But he has said this before, and I think he said in an interview with you at Town Hall, he said that he can act differently for different people, and that's what he'll need to do tonight. And we've seen him do that. He's done it mainly by reading off of a teleprompter. He won't have a teleprompter tonight, but I think, you know, he's a performer. He understands, I think, the stakes here. And listen, he comes in here with the momentum, right? He comes here in here with a lot of upside where he can come out of this debate continuing this momentum. I think if you're a Democrat, you're worried tonight. You're worried about the high stakes for Hillary Clinton, and can she meet those? Can she pull away from Donald Trump? So I think, you know, he comes in with a head of steam.
You know, David Axelrod, I mean, I think back 6 weeks ago and to John King at the Magic Wall, looking at the path to 270 electoral votes, and he had a tough time finding a path for Donald Trump. I just talked to him in the last hour. There's now a very clear path.
Yeah, that's why they call it the magic wall. You know, it changes. But look, I think these races are very changeable. The intense coverage has an effect on these campaigns. We said last summer, after she had this very strong convention, that it was going to take a while to have this settle in, and he made changes in his campaign
which
that have been meaningful. He's become a much more disciplined candidate. The question in this debate is, once he gets past the first 2-minute question and they get into that discussion period, can he carry on a prolonged discussion on, you know, complex issues? And if the answer is yes, he can take a big step forward here. If the answer is no, it'll reconfirm some of the concerns that people have about it.
And you know, the audience he's going to be feeding off of tonight is one person. It's Hillary Clinton. He's going to have to be responding to her directly. It's not going to be the energy from the audience. It's going to be what Hillary Clinton says about him. And we haven't really seen that dynamic before one-on-one with him. And so it's different.
We're going to talk to our partisans, I guess you would say, coming up a little bit later. Trump supporters and Clinton supporters. Up next, we'll talk to the last person who debated Hillary Clinton, Senator Bernie Sanders. He'll share his unique take on the potential pitfalls Clinton needs to avoid tonight and what he's expecting. We'll be right back.
Debate Night in America is brought to you by a program of the American Petroleum Institute. Log on to learn more. And by Norfolk Southern. One line, infinite possibilities. Go to CNNPolitics.com for trending political stories and the latest news on the campaigns.
It's simple supply and demand. More abundant energy means more affordable energy. Producing more American oil and natural gas would help keep energy bills in check. Who doesn't want that? I'm Rick, and I'm an energy voter.
Big day? The usual. Move some new cars. Bought a bunch of steel. Get the supermarket shelves stocked. Make sure everyone got their latest gadgets. What's up for the next shift?
Nothing much. Just keeping the lights on.
Nice.
Doing the big things that move an economy.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, sir.
Just another day at Norfolk Southern.
I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, with stage 4 cancer, and I was shocked. The plan at that point was to start chemo. Every 3 weeks I would get my chemo infusion. It would work for a few months and then it would quit working again. My oncologist ordered the genomic testing.
If they've exhausted all of our standard agents, then we offer advanced genomic testing. In Lynn's case, the result of that testing showed that her cancer had 2 actionable mutations. An actionable mutation is a genetic abnormality in that particular patient's cancer cell for which we have a targeted therapy.
I feel great. I've just basically put cancer in the back of my mind. I think it was the best decision of my life to go to Cancer Treatment Centers of America. It feels good to get your life back.
The evolution of cancer care is here. Learn how advanced genomic testing is changing the way we fight cancer at cancercenter.com/genomics. Appointments available now.
Your son is a remarkable young man. He has more in common with Einstein or Mozart than he does with us. Some of my clients are quite dangerous.
Why would your clients follow you? You're an accountant.
The Accountant, rated R.
Republican
Republican, Democrat, Independent. Shouldn't matter. Energy isn't a partisan issue. Producing more oil and natural gas here means more opportunity, more growth, more security for America. Who can't get behind that? I'm Kim, and I'm an energy voter.
As I reflect on these past 8 years, I have seen the strength of our veterans.
A CNN town hall. President Obama on the challenges facing U.S. veterans and his legacy as Commander-in-Chief. Jay Tapper moderates Wednesday at 9 on CNN.
I get a ton of deliveries, and there's been a lot of package theft in my neighborhood. Do you have anything that can help with that?
Well, I've got the Ring Home Security Kit. With the Ring Video Doorbell, you'll never miss a visitor, no matter who it is.
Hey, Bill, can you leave it by the side gate?
You got it. Plus 2 stick-up cams. Kit. With the Ring Video Doorbell, you'll never miss a visitor, no matter who it is.
Hey, Bill, can you leave it by the side gate?
You got it. Plus 2 stick-up cams, which create a ring of security around your entire home.
Thanks, Bill.
You got it.
It's that simple?
You got it.
Today, only at Best Buy.
I just saved thousands on my loan at LendingTree.com.
In less than a minute, I found out how much home I can afford.
I like how you shop for loans the same way you shop for flights online.
I didn't realize at LendingTree, you can save money on almost any sort of loan.
I consolidated my credit card debt with a personal loan.
I found a new credit card with 0% interest for 15 months. You just shop, compare, and save. And it's all free.
Go to LendingTree right now and start saving.
CNN Presidential Town Hall, Wednesday at 9, only on CNN.
And we are less than 2 hours away from the start of what may be the most anticipated presidential debate ever. I don't even know if we have to say may. I think it fairly is. Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, the first female presidential nominee of a major party going up against one of the most unconventional White House contenders in American history. We're back with a special edition of Out Front, live from the debate site here at Hofstra University, just outside New York City, which of course is the home base of both of the nominees. It is local for both of them tonight. Senator Bernie Sanders is the last person who debated Hillary Clinton, and he joins us now from Vermont. And Senator, thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
You know what it is like to stand on a debate stage with Hillary Clinton one-on-one. What part about debating her?
Well, I think the hardest part is understanding that despite what the media may think, this is not a night of entertainment. It's not a Super Bowl. It's not the World Series. Tonight, the American people are going to be looking at somebody who will have enormous power, direction of our country, 320 million people, and the rest of the world. And I hope that we focus on the issues, the differences between the candidates. One candidate, for example, Donald Trump, wants to give the billionaires, the wealthiest people in this country. Is that really a good policy for working families? Donald Trump does not believe that climate change is real. He thinks it's a hoax, despite what the entire scientific community says. Is that a very good approach for the future of this planet and for the lives of our kids and our grandchildren? Donald Trump will appoint another conservative, he said, to the Supreme Court, which means that Citizens United, the disastrous Supreme Court decisions that allow billionaires like Sheldon Adelson and the Koch brothers to buy elections and undermine American democracy, that will continue. Hillary Clinton wants to overturn Citizens United. So I think what we have to do is focus on the issues, not see tonight as an entertainment show.
All right, now you did say recently, though, you had some criticism for Secretary Clinton on one thing, and perhaps it's related to what you're talking about now, Senator. You said she needs to, in your words, get away from all of this personality stuff and, in your words, start talking about the real issues, which actually sounds like what you were just saying there, your frustration. What did you mean when you said this personality stuff?
Well, that's what media does. They make this. What kind of shoes will Donald Trump be wearing? Who is he huddling with right now? How is his hair going
right, but
to look
you have
tonight?
this criticism
what
of
kind
her.
outfit will...
This was a criticism of her.
No, it's not a criticism. It's a criticism of the media. Let's talk about which candidate is going to be better for working families. Now, I know in my state and all over this country, you got millions of people trying to make it a $9, $10, $11 an hour. I think Hillary Clinton thinks we need to raise the minimum wage to a living wage position. I believe that as a nation, we have struggled for a long time to overcome bigotry and racism. Donald Trump is making the in fact position. I believe that as a nation, we have struggled for a long time to overcome bigotry and racism. Donald Trump is making, in fact, bigotry, dividing us up, Latinos and blacks and Muslims, trying to divide our nation up. I don't think that that's good for the future of this country. So my hope is that we can focus tonight and in the future on the differences of opinions, very real differences between the two candidates. And when we do that, I think most people will perceive that Clinton is the superior candidate.
As you know, though, Senator, appearance and style matter a lot in a debate, right? It's not just the ideas, it's the art of it.
No, I don't
perhaps,
know that.
Not necessarily entertainment.
Let me just say this. When I debated Clinton, it was a very interesting phenomenon. Most of the time, not all of the time, the media seemed to think that Clinton looked more presidential, and she, quote unquote, won the debate. But you know what? You go online, we did much better because people listened to what I had to say. So I do not agree that style and looks and how you comb your hair is what the important issue is. I believe that it is what the candidate thinks. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you, though, on one thing. But I just want to ask you on one thing, because in terms of the style, Hillary Clinton obviously is the first woman to ever be on the stage like we're going to see tonight. And you obviously were debating her in that capacity as well. There was one time, as you remember, when you were talking about people shouting, and after that she came back and said, that's how people talk about women, but not about men. And there was another time when she was talking and you kept saying, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, and we're interrupting her, and people interpreted that as sexist. Is that something you think could happen to Donald Trump tonight?
I have no idea. I mean, I think what we look at is Hillary Clinton is a candidate for president of the United States, and I would hope that both of the candidates are respectful of each other. I don't believe that when I participated that I was rude. Others may disagree. But, I would hope that there is a thoughtful, intelligent debate on the real issues facing the families, working families of America.
And a final question to you in terms of your advice. What is your final piece of advice to her tonight going up against Donald Trump?
I would simply say she doesn't need my advice. She does these things very well and has a lot of experience in them. She understands that she's up against an entertainer. Donald Trump is an excellent entertainer. He's had successful TV shows, and that's his campaign. It's entertainment. I would say that is focus on the real issues. Stay focused on the issues impacting the American people. How do we raise the minimum wage to a living wage? How do we get pay equity for women? How do we make colleges? She has a proposal that would provide free tuition at public colleges and universities for any family making less than $125,000. That's a big deal. Stay on message. Keep talking about what impacts the average American.
All right, Senator Sanders, thank you very much for your time tonight. And next, Donald Trump's poll comeback. He has been rising in the polls, and the race for the White House tonight is now in a formal dead heat.
My husband, Mike Williams, is on the Deepwater Horizon.
Critics are raving about Deepwater Horizon. It's massive.
We're working hard. What about you?
Hey, candidates, do your job. Keep Social Security strong.
Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
You're in my dream.
One moment I'm with a little girl. The next I'm in a different life. There's something we're seeking, isn't there? It's all a story created to keep me here. Time to write my own story.
How can
good-paying jobs disappear, it's what the national